You know, I know the character was written way back in the day when people weren't really thinking these things through, but, I mean, why do they call him Black Panther? Aren't most Panthers already black? It's like calling yourself, I am Gray Elephant. Well, duh! Everybody, how's it going? I am LazerDude, and holy crap, is it already time to be talking about the new superhero movies coming out in 2018? Yes, it is. I guess I feel it's a little early because, you know, the 2018's just started, and I already have to be talking about this. Well, that's mostly because this movie that we're going to be talking about today, Black Panther, is coming out in February. So I gotta get on this. I'm not gonna wait too long like last year and just have my predictions video, like a video before my actual review of it, like I did with Logan. So let's get on it. These are my predictions for Black Panther. So, like always, we gotta start with, what did we get from the trailer? Well, we get from the trailer the basic setup that we got T'Challa is king of Wakanda. We can see Wakanda is not like your most African countries. That's probably sounded racist, but, you know, not like the ones you see on World Vision ads. You know, they're doing fine because they have advanced technology and they are doing well and they are hiding their technology from the outside world so nobody else realizes how advanced Wakanda is. And they're starting to get invaded, though, because we got stuff like Claw, who was shown first in Age of Ultron. He's starting to creep in, and we also got this other character played by Michael B. Jordan, who is also teaming up with Claw to do some nefarious things. And we see that T'Challa is trying to keep his kingdom safe with his two women on his side, played by Lupita Nyong'o and Dania Guerrera. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing those right, but if I'm not, then I can't pronounce names. I don't know. I know that one of them is his bodyguard, but beyond that, I don't really know much about them. So, but I know they're on his side, and they have to stop this hostile takeover from happening, and along the way, just having a lot of cool action moments. Because it wouldn't be a superhero movie without those. So what am I looking forward to with this film? Well, honestly, I think it's really cool that we're going to get a superhero film, Marvel's first superhero film about a character from another country. I mean, unless you count, like, Thor or Guardians of the Galaxy, but those are different, like, planets in another plane of existence. Sure, Thor has a more European style, but that doesn't make him European. He's still from Asgard. Where this is the first one that, I guess is also technically their first black superhero movie, which is also a big thing. But I'm looking forward to just seeing a superhero from another country altogether. Because until now, they've always been American. Iron Man, American. You know, Hulk, American. As I say, Thor's a little bit different. He's European, but he's from another country. Captain America. Well, adoy, American. And now we're finally getting one from another country, and Africa, of all places. It's really cool. And the fact that it's from Africa just makes it even better because the fact that, you know, it's like we've had other superheroes in, you know, in America. You know, like, we've seen what it's like on the streets, in the hood, or wherever you're, you know, it's like Black Lightning has done that sort of story recently in the new TV show. Luke Cage told that story in the Marvel Netflix show. You know, we're seeing that style more and more, and I'm not saying I'm bored with it. I'm just saying I'm glad that we're not just seeing one side of it. You know, we're seeing another dimension of another black superhero with a completely different story. It's not just a guy who grew up on the wrong side of the streets. You know, this is a person from Africa, and we're telling their story, and I think that's really awesome. Not to mention that the fight scenes actually look really entertaining. I like that, like, the Black Panther's, like, look and, like, it doesn't really necessarily offer itself a lot to cool things, you know. It's like Captain America's shield obviously lends itself to doing cool things, but it's like, you know, he has like claws and, you know, his armor is cool, but it's like, it doesn't lend itself exactly to do cool things. So I like that this movie, from the looks of it, looks like they're going out of their way to do extra cool stuff. Like the moment in the trailer where he like literally just rips a tire off of a car. I mean, that is amazing. That is cool. And I'm excited to see the opportunity for Chadwick Boseman to really flesh out the character of Black Panther. Because we got to see him in Civil War. He was there and he was good. I didn't dislike him at all. I liked him. But we didn't get a lot with him because it was a Captain America, Iron Man sort of story. It's kind of similar with, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was just a small role. We got to see a little bit what they're about, but then in Spider-Man Homecoming, they fleshed him out a lot more. And I'm hoping that that's what they do with this, with Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, that we get to see him fleshed out a lot more, and that initial impression just deepens our like for this character, and that just helps us sink our teeth into this character more. I want to say that this is kind of like something I'm looking forward to, but also is a fear, but I'll get to the fear part in my biggest fears. But I'm excited to see what Michael B. Jordan is going to do with this villain-type character. I mean, I almost feel like it's interesting. Is it like in the contract of people who play the Human Torch that they get to be in a better superhero movie later? I mean, because like Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan played the Human Torch, and now they're being in other superhero movies. Chris Evans, of course, is Captain America, and now Michael B. Jordan as the villain in this movie. And it's interesting. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to see what he brings to it, except for the fact that, and now we're going to move on to what are my biggest fears for this movie. I'll get into my biggest one in a bit, but is Michael B. Jordan too young to be playing this villain? Or at the very least looks too young. I don't know his actual age. In fact, I'll look that up. 30. Okay, then. Okay, well, at the very least he looks younger than 30. I guess he is old. He's old enough. So maybe forget that one. But my biggest fear and biggest question going into this is, why is this movie being released in February? February is the dead month. For those of you who do not pick up on movie trends and when they release movies, let me give you a little bit of a crash course. The big hits, the big summer blockbusters come out around summer. The big Oscar contenders usually more towards the end of the year, November, December, some of them January if they're wanting to cut it really close, but most of them, is October, November, December, a few Septembers. But, that's usually the time. This is being released in February. Most movies that come out in February are utter garbage. This is the dump part of the year, where every studio just throws on their movies that they didn't have any faith in, but have already put too much money in. Why is Black Panther being released in February? I almost hope it's a race thing. It's just like, because at the very least, if it's a race thing, it could be a good movie, but the people who are releasing it just don't know if it's going to do well because it's about a black character, so let's just throw it in February. I almost hope it is that. That would be bad, of course, for people-wise, but at the very least, it would give an excuse for why it's coming out in February. I mean, maybe they don't want to put it alongside their other movies coming out this year because they do have a lot of Infinity Wars coming out this year, so they don't want to maybe crowd it, but I still think you could have done it like early March or something. I don't know. It feels like an odd time. I'm also hoping that they don't overcompensate for the fact that this is, a story about a black superhero in Africa. Because I want there to be themes in stuff going on in this story. I do want them to address some of the social aspects that are hitting us today, but I don't want them to overcompensate and go overboard to the point where I feel like I'm being preached at through this movie. This is still a superhero movie. I want to feel entertained. I want to have fun. And I don't want them to go overboard. As I say, I'm okay if they touch on the issues, because there's definitely issues that they can and should touch on. But I'm just saying, let's not go over the top with this here. Otherwise, it could bog down the film. But let's move on to, what are my predictions for this movie? Well, I have one big one that I would honestly bet money on. And I don't think anyone would take me up on it. Because there's one part in one of the trailers where we see 2 Black Panther armors. And then later in the trailer, we see Michael B. Jordan's character in a leopard or jaguar. I can't remember what I read up that it's going to be called something like that. Armor that's very similar to the Black Panther armor. He's going to steal one of the armors. That's just what's going to happen. He's going to steal one of the armors, and he's going to be using that to become like the opposite of T'Challa's character. And they're going to have an amazing fight scene with it. That's just what I'm just putting that out there. He's going to steal one of the armors. It's almost a fact at this point. He has one like it at the end of the movie, the big fight sequences, and there's 2 in this other scene. It's just simple math. Maybe not math, but... second prediction, a little bit more bigger. I think T'Challa is going to bring Wakanda out of hiding. Yeah, because as we see in this one part of the trailer, there's like a big like dome shield over where they like go through with the spaceship and actually go through it. And it's just like, Wakanda is like cut off from the outside world. And I think that he's going to take it out of his, like, it's going to be our time to take it out of hiding and show what we can be to the outside world. And I think that's going to be a big part of the story. There's also going to have to be a forced reason why Cap and his team are out of this. Because I don't know the timeline, but we can assume it takes place after Civil War, because his father isn't in any of the trailers, and his father died. I don't think that's the first reason why he put on the suit. He is king, so his father is totally out of the picture. So it's after Civil War, but we also see in the trailer for Infinity War that Cap and crew are in Wakanda still. So there's going to have to be some reason why Cap and his crew are out of Wakanda. There's got to be a reason for that, because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. And those are all my predictions, so it's time to put it on the table. What are the chances it is a bad movie? I gotta be honest, the February release scares me a little bit. Why release it in February and in the middle of February? It's not like it's late February, so it's trying to get a jump on the summer game. It's in the middle. I think it's February 16th, so it's like, why are you pulling it back to there? I gotta admit, it has me a little worried. And it's not a ton worried, because from what I've seen from the trailers and whatnot, it still looks entertaining, and Marvel has been on a run lately. They haven't had a movie that I didn't at least find enjoyable, so I still gotta give them the benefit of the doubt until they give me reason to otherwise. So I gotta give Marvel the benefit of the doubt and say I'm giving it a 30% chance this is going to be bad, and giving it a 70% chance that it's going to be a good movie. That's my feelings on this going in. I don't really have any big qualms from what I've seen from the trailers. I don't have any big, red flags that are drawing up in my mind. And yeah, so that means I'm looking forward to it, and it's time to give it my excitement meter. I will say that Black Panther is not a character that I know a ton about. Honestly, the most I've seen from Black Panther is Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and that is the most I've seen and watched and understood the character of Black Panther. But as I say, I am looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like to see a superhero movie that takes place in a completely different culture. What's it going to end up like? How different from the classic superhero formula is it going to take? And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, I'm going to put this excitement meter as... I want to see it. I want to see it. It's definitely one of the movies I'm looking forward to in 2018. And so, it's not as high as something else like maybe Infinity War will be. But it's fairly high. I would say it's fairly high up there. And I'm going to give it my individual thumbs up to say I want to see it and look forward to it. So yeah, that is my first video for the videos of the superhero movie predictions coming out in 2018. Man, I feel like I just got done with the 2017 ones. I know I hadn't. I know it was like 5 months ago when I did the last one, but it feels like I just finished and now I'm just having to go into the next one. But at the very least, at least this is done before the movie comes out. Well before it. Depending on how well I edit this. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I am LazerDude. Make sure you put your predictions and how you feel this movie is going to turn out in the comments below. And if you want to subscribe, if you're not already, then you can click the subscribe button. I'm sure I have it around somewhere. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Adios. Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.